off now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
On third down, Cousins. This goes out wide from Madison. And some room to work. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it, try and keep the defense honest.
You mean also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Cousins. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. There he goes, left side. 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
All-pro receiver Michael Thomas missed all of 2021 while recovering from an ankle injury. But we'll never forget that he set an NFL record in 2019 with 145 catches. When healthy, borderline unguardable.
Prescott on first down. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. A fairly short kick from the 14. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw him break out on? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Deontay Hardy deep for New Orleans. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
This could be it. This could be it. This could be the turning point. Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is, his first miss, no good. And that flag accepted. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during the series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. This is Alexander Madison out of the backfield with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like...
And he's taken down here by the Saints. That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback, even a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And some room to maneuver. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 88 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Prescott. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and
he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Saints continue to pull away here in this first half. Wants to try to add the PAT. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Pulls it in at the 13. Well, a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And just a yard to go here on second down. He'll set up a throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Well, backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. David Onyemata drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up fourth down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. First down, Prescott. He completes it to Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Saints continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game. Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 61 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him, feet were moving, the legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his off-season working on hill work, running through sand. Things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Cousins now to throw on first down. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. Madison. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Again, Madison. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Alexander Madison, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to at least get one score back. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone. We saw evidence of that on that play.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Finding space at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, up big with still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
Prescott looks to throw on first, eluding the pressure right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. Play action now. Prescott. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But
and a 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They just get the play off. Now Prescott. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Thomas will come in motion right. Here's Prescott. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Play fake. Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads. Here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Only 29 yards on the punt there, definitely not his best. And the Saints on a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
One of the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL. extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Kill! 47! There's about 46!
Looking to throw. Prescott. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Now Prescott on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You're talking about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Prescott stripped.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. On play action, Prescott. That's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Second down and goal. Cousins. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
3rd and goal for Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Saints will have the football back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Throwing here, Prescott.
Again, it's Johnson.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. pass left. And that is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And he goes out right around the 39. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson.
He's at the 40. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the 1st down.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. They go to each other in practice, obviously with training.